Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
And so we're taking it October 31st, regular class. We're going to get into reading and shadow clubbing and stuff like that. We'll talk about that. I was trying to find something scary to put on the screen, so that's why I put I Learn Math is next Wednesday.
What?
I'm
actually happy for that. I'm actually only good at math.
Same.
So, real quick, I'm going to film you guys. Because I know, this is a different filming for a different thing. And so they're putting together a video for, I think, like National Principals Day or something. Of just you guys all just going, thank you. They're going to edit all these videos together. And I didn't want you guys to miss out on being a part of it. So I'm just going to we're going to do 3 short videos. Like literally one of them, you just go, thank you. And then the second one, we're going to have you go, thank you, and then put Mr. Butts. You're going to go, thank you, Mr. Butts. And then we're going to pause and then do a third one, but you're going to say, thank you, Mrs. Twasson. And that is our assistant principal.
Oh, that's right. I only know Mr. Butts. I don't know.
I've already seen this. I'm going to pause this because there's no point recording this part of it.
How many classes?
All but my first, because I didn't find out about it until second grade. So I started doing it all the rest.
But that's not
Those of you who are doing the thing tonight, or as far as the whole trick-or-treating thing, if you come by, one, I know it was raining earlier, and I think there's rain coming again this afternoon, but it's supposed to be gone by tonight when you guys go trick-or-treating. So in theory, you should be safe and not be too soggy. Although if you walk through grassy bits, then you're probably going to get soggy foot. So just giving you the heads up.
What time does your haunted house?
I go until kids stop coming. I think they said tonight it's like from 5:30 to 8:30 or something.
Yeah, it's
like
a
that.
long
Guess
Although,
what? Stay until
I
9.
don't start letting people in until it's like dark-ish, because otherwise it's not too scary. And so I usually wait until it gets at least kind of dark out to make it more, you know.
So like 7 to 8:30?
Oh, yeah, it gets darker earlier.
I like darkness. It gets dark at like my
Then to you guys. Again, those of you who are not fond of reading on your own, I do have the Shadow Club page and me going through and reading all of them to you if you want. And again, you can't use the chapter numbers because your book doesn't have chapter numbers. You just have to go through and use the little wordy bits, and hopefully that helps you. So here's the thing I want to talk about. After finding out, talking to kids yesterday, when I had a conversation with people saying, you realize that page 74 is due Friday for the quiz. And they seem to be confused. Especially when I have to explain that Friday is tomorrow. And so that seemed to be throwing some people off. Now, I've been telling you about this. This is yesterday's screen when it was right there. This was Tuesday's screen. It was right there. This was Monday's screen. It was right there. If you go on Canvas, it was right there. I can even zoom in so you can see like all week I've been telling you that this has been coming up so that you guys have been prepared for it. Here's where the issue comes in. I realized as I was thinking things through that today's the 31st. And when I was setting all of this up at the beginning of the week for my plans for the week, that tonight, most likely a lot of you guys are going to be a little distracted going around and begging for food from your neighbors and stuff like that. So the chances of you guys having a chance to sit and read and finish those last few pages probably wasn't going to be very likely to happen. And I'm not dumb. I fully understand that. So I started thinking about it. And so here's what I'm considering, but don't get excited yet. Considering pushing it to Monday for the quiz as opposed to doing it tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. With the quiz, 2 parts to it. One, I like this book. I think it's fun. And I'm fully aware that a lot of you guys keep telling me that you don't like reading. I don't want to add to you not liking reading. My goal is to actually kind of trick you into not hating reading. I might even trick a couple of you into enjoying reading with this book. And pushing you guys to try and read it on Halloween is not going to be a way to get you to like this book. I'm fully aware of that. So I would rather give you more time, give me a better chance of you liking the book, rather than forcing it on you and having you not like the book. But here's the other issue. If you're not going to read it, and you're just gonna fail my quiz anyway, I might as well just give you the quiz tomorrow. Because if you're gonna fail it, it doesn't matter if it's tomorrow or Monday, if it's gonna be an F either way. So my question is, if I put it off till Monday, does that make a difference to you?
Yes.
Okay. So then I'm going to go off actions and not words. And so if I'm deciding on a per class basis, if for you guys, we spend today and we read and discuss and things go well and I feel strongly about it, I'm okay pushing the quiz till Monday. I don't like having quizzes on Mondays, but I figure if it gives you more time to finish that last bit, I'm okay with that. Plus, tomorrow, I won't read to you. Tomorrow, I would have you read on your own, and that'll be your way of convincing me. If you don't read tomorrow, that's okay. That means you're done reading, and you're ready to take the quiz, and I can unlock the quiz for you tomorrow. And I figure that'll be sort of how we agree to things. I'd rather you enjoy book, especially because we're going to get to the good part today, and I would like you guys to get to enjoy the good part. This that part up there where you've made me not hate you, so if I don't hate you, I'm going to try to be nice to you. So we'll see how things go from there.
Yes.
So that's what I'm deciding for on the moment. Fingers crossed you guys have me be nice to you. So we'll see what happens. Alright. I feel the same. Speaking of character connections, since I already have 3 kids who spent the point to work on it, let's help the rest of you do a thing. And so we're going to have you look in there and find one of your examples to share so we can help other people.
I already did that.
Now, some of you already went on Tuesday. That's fine. We have a lot more kids whose hearts get to speak to me. Plus, some of your hearts may be so loud that even though you went on Tuesday, you may go again today if your heart is telling me that you really want to. Don't blame me. Blame that shriveled little hunk of thing that's inside of your chest, and we'll go from there. Again, directions. By the way, hopefully those of you who are standing and working on it, I'm hoping you're following directions, so I don't have to be mean to you. But that's, again, up to you on that one. Example-y things from there, and in a moment, when your heart chooses for you to go, hopefully I don't have to respond with, I like tree houses. Because, again, I'm looking for some detailed information and not just I like a thing. And then we'll get a chance to get into our reedy stuff. What's that, Celeste? You wanted to start off. I'm so proud of you, Celeste. What page number, Celeste?
Page number 9, it says pretending to be the cutest thing on earth. I highlighted that because it reminds me of my little sister, because my mom thinks that she's perfect, and then she acts like she is when my mom's around, and then when my mom's not, she does crazy things, and the other day she accidentally punched a hole in the wall.
Oh, did you blame your sister?
Was she trying to hit you and you were too fast and she missed and just punched the wall? I got so excited for a second when you were talking about all adorable, and I was like, and then you
That would
kept
be
going.
weird to say.
I mean, I agree, but sometimes it's just true. Oh, ouch! Nate, what page? Hater.
34.
34. Okay.
I didn't want to think about it. The more I thought about it, the more worried I'd get. Because whenever I had a swim meet, like, you're basically dying in anticipation until you swim the 500, and then by the end of it, you're dead. And then it's fun.
We're going to talk about swimming today. It pops up in the book. It's going to be a thing that we're going to get a chance to get to.
Swimming is running in water.
Not really.
Not really.
With your arms. Kakur.
But no.
On like the prologue thing, it says single kid. I highlighted it because I'm a single kid, and all my friends.
Like, does that mean only child?
No,
No. Like you're just one kid?
no, like I don't have a boyfriend.
God, okay, now I'm with
Imagine.
you. I was trying to figure out, that's why I needed a clarification, like with a single kid. Okay, now I'm with you, go ahead.
Yeah, what is so
And all
funny?
my friends have boyfriends, so they make fun of me for it.
I don't.
That's not friend.
I don't.
It's so you just got called
Now,
out.
hold up. I only talk about her crush.
Yeah,
Who's your crush?
No saying
we are not trying to out a person. But it's else, we can make Juliana feel better. What page? Page 8, okay.
They argue like lawyers because in my family, if you're gonna argument, you try to win, and we argue like lawyers.
Oh.
That's your
Alright, I'll roll with that.
She took one.
Ding! It's a good thing you have 9 more to choose from. Goofy! Annabelle! I want to do tic-tac-toe. See, I have like 3 in a row.
Page
trying to pick autumn because autumn's my favorite season, and Halloween is in autumn, and it's autumn right now.
It's my favorite season also.
Yeah.
Mason!
Wait,
Yeah, you're right.
which one? Page 16. I highlighted the nickname because my friends give me a nickname, and it's Smith.
This what?
Smithy.
Smith?
That's my last name.
Your nickname is your last name?
Yeah.
You have really creative friends.
Yeah.
Imagination. I was going to give you the nickname Mason, but I thought it was too simple.
Oh yeah.
Connor!
What about
Hi.
Page 4 says, I'll go crazy. And if I have to spend another 2-hour car ride with my brother again, I might hurt him.
I was really worried you were going
Metaphorically speaking.
thought you were going to be like, if I had to spend one more minute in fifth period, and I was like,
I don't have
it's all good off that one from there. Hey, Daddy!
Page 19, and it says the invisible spot in front of him. And I highlighted that because when I run, I like to look at something in front of me, and it helps me run faster.
You know, running is just like swimming, but on land with your legs.
Hey, you kick with your legs, and so
Yeah.
I'm making fun of Avery. Don't
you
distract me.
You could like dive and kick without your arms.
that's how you dive.
Oh, Mark!
Yeah.
Page 16
So it's
says
running.
second best. And I used to play my brother in chess since 3rd grade, and I lost every single time until 6th grade, and
I don't get
No,
what's
we
so
can
fun.
take
You
it
beat him
back.
like once, or have you?
once.
And that's but you've beat him multiple times since then?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I was a little worried there for a second. Oshkosh!
Oh, page 7. I turn off my brain because I usually don't even think in class, and I just stare at something, and then when it's time to work, I just don't know what to do.
That's real.
I appreciate you letting me know that, so I should be slightly worried when I see you staring up. I thought you were just in deep thought about everything I was talking about, but apparently now I should be a little worried. Nelloms!
Here,
What page?
Team. Oh wait. Page 20.
Okay.
Team Hero.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm in 7th grade and I'm on the Team Hero, and it's the best team.
Real.
I like you.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
I mean, you beat me to it, but you saw. I mean, you're on there. You're like more like I like tree. I mean, because it's not all the way to tree houses, so you're on your way. We'll go there.
I like tree.
I like tree.
I like tree.
Nicely done. All right.
You didn't call on me.
I couldn't call on everyone. I'm sorry.
I was eating a full meal.
Because I want to have time to read our fun stuff today. So I'm trying to again.
Fun stuff.
I know. We're going to try to trick you into not hating the book, and we're getting to some of the good stuff today. All right, give me a chance. We're getting there.
I have to read.
This book.
Yeah, I like books, not this book.
This book's gonna be good. You just gotta wait till you
I
hear
have
it.
to hit page 74.
Daniel, just have to wait. We're gonna do it again tomorrow.
Everyone else.
Let's see. So we got to. We are to. No. So we got past. Guys talking. We did. Talk with Treehouse.
Why did I put 3? What did John?
We got through this with you guys.
Page 40.
Cheryl.
I want to touch on again. Who is it they say Rebecca looks like?
Cheryl.
So there's a reason why I'm bringing that one up.
I like curly pencils.
What? They give her Shirley Temple.
So with the Shirley Temple thing,
She's bubbly.
purely out of coincidence, I was walking through the teacher's lounge today, and in there, someone had finished off and left this little 7-Up thing, which I've never seen before, but we happen to be going over it, and it says, you can't see it, I'll put it up there for you. And so it says little 7-Up Shirley Temple, and it has it says with cherry and pomegranate, so I thought it was
You
kind of...
have a very nice smile. Yes, very nice.
Here.
Do that thing.
No, you gotta open your mouth.
You're so hairy.
Oh wait, there's
So
one
anyway,
behind it too.
I thought the fact that I had a 7-Up Shirley Temple was kind of entertaining. I'd never seen it before, and that just happened. We were reading about it, and I was like, well, that's pretty fitting.
Pomegranate.
We talked about this with you guys.
It feels hurting me.
Okay, he got a small head.
Why does the principal have such a small head?
That's not the principal.
Bigger than his feet.
It's the track coach,
His feet
and it's because he's part of Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
Juice tastes like juice.
Does Jared get to be captain?
Yes.
Who's captain instead? That's what we're gonna pick up.
I'm
Lost in your space.
We're not there
We're
yet.
swimming.
So we are on page 40, and I'll explain that next picture showing up in just a moment.
We are.
There's a little gap area where it says the hall was empty.
Got it. Got it.
What area?
What did it say?
Page 40, after the gap, the hall was empty.
Spooky, scary stuff.
The hall was empty when I left the gym, except for one kid. None other than Lost in Space himself was standing outside the gym doors. He was waiting for me. It wasn't a coincidence. Oh, you spoke to the coach already, huh? Yeah. So he told you I won? How did you already know? He spoke to me first. You don't think he'd tell you before he told me, do you? Austin waited for an answer, but I didn't give him one. I bet you'll like being team secretary, he said. Assistant coach. Nah, all it really is a team secretary. Hey, I'll make sure to give you lots of memos to type up. Maybe you can come over to my house sometime and answer some phones, he said, laughing. I turned and walked down the hall. He followed his arrowheads, gliding across the floor. I wanted to step on him and leave nice gray tread marks on the snow-white leather toes. Yes. It's not secretary. All right, a gopher then. I stopped. What? You know, gopher? Hey, Jared, go for this. Hey, Jared, go for that. Hey, Jared, gopher, gopher, gopher. So when he's calling him gopher, it's got two things. One, this is what a gopher is. That
Gopher!
That's a beaver. No, the what do you?
No, that's still a gopher also. It's a good try though. He just has the big. But gopher here, as in G-O space F-O-R, like go for things, and it just means like your only job is to go get things for other people.
Oh,
Good boy.
I see resemblance.
And I found a little comic that goes along with it.
Man, that kind of sucks.
I just scowled at him. He saw the anger in my unpoker face and laughed. Just kidding, he said, in the nastiest, most obnoxious voice he could, while charging a kid points for learning how to whistle again. Uh-huh. Let's see. Attempts to I distracted, just kidding, he said, in the nasty. Then he laughed harder and turned away, his arrowheads bouncing off down the hallway, squeaking on the floor. I felt more humiliated than I'd felt in a long time. As I walked down the hall, it wasn't the fact that I was assistant coach that bothered me. It was the fact that Austin knew first and, as usual, made fun of me, calling me gopher. It was bad enough to feel hidden in his shadow, but to be humiliated, that was something else. He was twisting the knife. How would I feel if Austin Pace had never been born? Yeah, let's not talk about it. The alarm went off at 1:30. That's right, you guessed it, another school fire. I can't say I wasn't glad to hear the alarm bell. I hadn't been able to concentrate all day because of what had happened that morning. At least now I could feel angry without having to pay attention to teachers at the same time. It used to be nobody raised much of a fuss when the fire alarm went off. The teachers would just get the class up and funnel them in an orderly manner down the stairway and out into the field. Now, it was much quicker and much more serious. It used to be they were all drills or false alarms. But last year, there were 3 real fires. The last one burned down the gym. Now, as we marched into the hall, I could swear I already smelled smoke. The scene out in the field was much more chaotic than any of the teachers could stand for. Kids running in the field, and the neat little rows of classes were breaking down into mobs of kids. A good many of them pressing up against the fence to see the smoke pouring out of the cafeteria. There wasn't a whole lot of smoke, but it was enough to cause a commotion. I didn't really care to watch the fire. I had my own problems to think about. if I sound heartless, it isn't because I didn't care about anyone left in the school. I'd overheard the principal say that the school had been cleared and there was nothing to worry about, except for the cafeteria burning down, which, believe me, is exactly what the cafeteria deserved. While the cafeteria smoked, I fumed, still filled with the anger Austin had put in me that morning. Ooh, a quick pause before I get this next part. If you've already done the highlighting bits and you're done and don't need to highlight it anymore, you don't need a highlighter, but along those same lines, I'm fine if you just want to kick back and listen to me read, because the quiz-wise, I'm not trying to be mean to you with the quiz. As long as you pay attention and you've been following along, you should do fine on quiz. That's my goal with it. Again, honestly, my goal is for you to enjoy the book. So if you're just listening and paying attention, I'm okay with that. Now, if you're sitting on your iPad as opposed to standing while working on it, that'd be different, and I'd have to attack a kid. But my goal is just for you guys, if following along helps you remember it, that's absolutely fine. If staring off into space means I have to come back and attack you, that's a different thing. But as long as you can listen, I'm good with that. I like to harass people.
Wait, what page are we on?
I'm on page 43. For those who are looking. I don't want to talk about it, I told Cheryl when she asked me about the track team. She knew exactly what I meant when I said, "Int, don't ask again. Now, join the club." Why? What's wrong with you? Oh, nothing. It's just that the play they're doing this year is Annie. So, guess what snotty little brat is absolutely perfect for the role? Because if you're not familiar with Annie, the main character is the short little girl with red hair, which looks just like Shirley Temple. So which person in the story is going to be the perfect person in that role?
Rebecca.
Exactly. Wait, Rebecca's trying out? No, I don't even think she has to. They're just going to look at her and give her the role. Cheryl continued to complain to me about Rebecca and other things. Complained about Rebecca and other things. I turned to look at the school. The firefighters were standing by the fire truck, doing nothing in particular, which meant that the fire was not a big one and had been put out right away. The cafeteria had been saved, although it would probably smell like smoke for the rest of the year. We all knew there'd be no more school that day, not till they were positive there was no fire left, and the building had a chance to air out. Still, they couldn't let us go home until 3, so the schoolyard began to resemble a junior high school. Began to resemble a junior high school riot, with kids playing all sorts of unruly games that made the teachers all start pulling out their hair. "A club?" said Cheryl. "Huh?" I said, "We should form a club of all the kids who are second best." "Yeah, right. And then one by one, do away with everyone in our way." Mwah-ha-ha-ha. Foreshadow. "No, I'm serious. We could have a club, just for fun. Something that only we could have. None of the unbeatable kids could be in it. Like a second best club." "That's a stupid idea." "No, it's not. We could all go and do things and have fun and really make the unbeatable kids jealous that we thought of it better before they did. We'll be one up on them for a change." "Yeah? Okay. Who'd be in this club?" "I don't know. We'd have to think about it for a while and come up with some names. I'll bet there are lots of kids who'd want to be in it. My brother, for instance. Nobody else will want to do it. They're going to laugh at us. But if they don't, Jared, we could be starting something big, like a secret club that'll go on for years after we've gone on to high school." I thought about this. Cheryl always had a way of convincing me of things. But this time, she wasn't the one who convinced me. It was someone else. "Hey, Jared!" someone called. It was that familiar voice. A voice I didn't want to hear. I could almost see those arrowheads and that red hair and those long, bony arms. "Hey, Jared, want a race?" asked Austin. "First race of the season." So this was it, the challenge. Austin was always the one to challenge first. Usually he waited until the second week when he had seen me run and was absolutely sure he'd be able to beat me. This time, He asked on the second day, and there were too many kids around me for him to turn down the challenge. Don't you think it'd be better if we waited till the field was cleared? Isn't this clear enough? I turned around. Sure enough, the field was clear enough to race. Austin had come over with about 10 kids, and more kids were joining us because everyone knew what he was up to, and everyone knew about our rivalry. Maybe we should wait until your legs grow some more. Everyone laughed. I laughed too. It was better to be laughed with than laughed at, right? Inside, I wasn't laughing though. Fine! Okay, right now. Austin smiled, that crocodile smile. Hey, Greg, go out about 60 yards and judge us. Greg Miller, one of the new 7th graders on the team, obeyed as if he'd been given an order by God. So, this is where it begins, I thought. This year's competition, this year's war. I mean, I felt strong. I felt ready to run. I felt like I always felt when I raced with Austin, that maybe this time I would beat him. We got down into starting position, and then Austin got up. Wait, he said. Took off his precious shoes, then his socks. He was going to run barefoot. Okay, he got back down. You ready to lose? I didn't answer. Martin Bricker got ready to start us as more and more kids turned to watch. Even teachers were watching. Okay, so this is where it begins. On your mark! Get set! Go! I took off like a bullet, cutting through the wind, pounding the grass with every last bit of my strength. I didn't turn to look, but I could see in the corner of my eye that we were neck and neck. 10 yards. We're gone. I looked toward Greg down the field and concentrated on turning everything I had into power. This is for every time you beat me in races as a kid. I pushed harder. This is for when you came back to do it again last year. I pushed harder. This is for how you made me feel this morning. I pushed harder. We were still neck and neck. 30 yards were gone. 30 to go. The cheers faded away behind us. This is for challenging me in front of the whole school. This is for everything you'll ever try to do to me for the rest of our lives. This is for those stupid running shoes you wear. 40 yards gone. I was ahead of him by a foot. I was beating him. I pushed harder. 15 yards to go. 15 to go. And then, like he'd been holding it all back, he flew out in front of me. He didn't inch out. He flew out like I was standing still. He moved like a machine in fast forward, a ship blasting into hyperspace. He was a foot in front of me, 2 feet, 3 feet. He turned to look at me and smiled, that awful smile of his. I lunged. I dove forward in a wild attempt to reach the finish line before he did. But he was there before I even hit the ground. I was moving so fast, I skidded along the grass, skinning my elbows and ruining my pants. The agony of defeat. I felt like that skier who wipes out on the ski jump every Sunday on Wide World of Sports. The agony of defeat. Skinned elbows and ruined pants and a laughing lost in space. By now, kids were crowding around Austin, isn't it? Wow! Did you see Austin take off? Wow, he really beat him bad. Wow, Austin is so fast. Wow this, wow that. Austin was loving every last bit of it. They crowded around him and just left me there on the ground to examine my elbows. You shouldn't race Austin, kid, said a 7th grader. Austin beats everybody. Austin looked down at me. He was barely winded. You ran pretty good. For a gopher, he said, and everyone laughed. Gopher, 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 gopher. Austin reached his hands to conduct them as they all chanted in unison. Gopher, 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 over and over again. I could have killed him. I could have ripped him limb from limb. But then I thought about Tyson McGaw. Nope, I'm not Tyson. I'm civilized. I wasn't going to attack Austin. Instead, I stood up, brushed myself off, waited till the gopher chanting stopped, and then I looked Austin straight in the face and put out my hand. Nice race, Austin. I shook his hand. Let me tell you, it took all of my strength to do it too. Yeah, he said. I'll see you around. Gopher! I turned and left while everyone crowded around Austin. My elbows had just begun hurting. Cheryl was there waiting for me. That's one thing about her. She was always there. She never laughed at me either. Are you okay? She asked. I looked back toward Austin and then turned to Cheryl and asked, so, what are we going to call our club? Chapter, the charter at Stonehenge. So this is where we officially begin the club because now he has been inspired. So would you say that Austin has been bullying him?
Yeah.
I mean, technically, going off what you guys said when we first started talking about it, I mean, I'm not sure it qualifies for what you guys said was bullying, but I think Jared has a reason to want to get revenge.
That's not bullying.
I will stop there. So, we are on Sigma 50.
That's not fair.
What's not fair? Shh! You hush your mouth. You're gonna lose your cool kid card and start talking about wanting to read.
How did they get 21,000 points?
That's not 21,000.
It's Simpsons.
That's how many Simpson sheet lines they did. They did 2,150 lines on the Simpson sheets over the course of the year.
Easy.
Yeah. No, the most B points was 1,671.
Oh,
So
how'd they get that?
it was these three kids were all racing each other the same year, and it was like this competition to see who could get the most.
How'd they get that many?
I used to have a different system because we used to do paper recycling, and we don't have it here anymore. But
It's like 5 pounds of paper.
and then you could bring in paper recycling, and her grandparents worked for a newspaper company, and so she would literally bring in a van full of newspaper. There was enough where I had to get like a giant scale to weigh it because she would bring in hundreds of pounds at a time. It was nuts.
How much did you give her for each pound?
It's like every 5 pounds got you a point. Back in 2013. So I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to beat that number because things have changed since then. So.
I was graduated already.
I have a dream. Good luck tonight. I will push quiz till tomorrow, and we'll see how tomorrow goes with you.